Welcome back to today's explainer. If you've been working as a solo freelancer for a while, you know the exact pain point we're about to dive into. You grind, you deliver incredible value to your clients, your reputation grows, and then, boom, you hit a wall. You hit this rigid, unforgiving revenue ceiling. And why? Because there are only 24 hours in a day, and you are only one person. You have essentially capped out your own potential. But today, we're going to break that ceiling. What we're looking at in this explainer is nothing short of an evolutionary roadmap. We're charting the exact path from a maxed out solo operator to a thriving, scalable business.
Since this is day 27 of our journey, we're at a totally pivotal milestone. This is where we draw a line in the sand and completely stop trading our limited time for money. To increase your income, your impact, and your freedom, we have to transition from just doing the work to actually building a real operation. It's time to evolve.
Okay, let's dive into this. To make this leap, there are 4 non-negotiable concepts we have on the agenda today. First, the agency model shift. Second, hiring and delegation. Third, building reliable systems. And fourth, securing recurring clients. Let's get right to it. Starting with part 1, the agency model shift. The primary catalyst for scaling is, well, it's completely shifting your business model. You simply cannot scale a solo mindset. Think about the typical solo freelancer, juggling the marketing, the client calls, the actual fulfillment, and let's not forget the late-night stress, right? If you stop, the whole business stops. But an agency operates entirely beyond your personal labor. It's a profound shift from saying, I am the business, to I own the business. Let's nail down exactly what we mean here. An agency is a business model where an organization provides services utilizing a team rather than just a single individual. Adopting this mindset is the absolute first requirement for scaling up. You literally have to step out of the technician role and step up into the director role. The value your clients receive is no longer exclusively generated by your hands. It's generated by the organization you have built. Let's move to part 2 and see how this builds into our next step, hiring and delegation. To actually build that agency, we have to introduce the human element, and that relies on a very specific 2-part sequence. Step 1 is hiring, and step 2 is delegation. And I really want to emphasize this. One step cannot succeed without the other. If you do one without the other, you are honestly just wasting money or burning yourself out even faster. Let's demystify that first step. Hiring isn't just about adding to your payroll or giving yourself a fancy boss title. Hiring is the deliberate act of acquiring help to fundamentally expand your agency's working capacity. You are effectively buying bandwidth. When you were a solo freelancer, your capacity was capped at maybe 40 or 50 hours of deep work a week. By hiring, you are mathematically multiplying the hours your business can generate value in a single day. You're quite literally purchasing scale. But that leads us directly into the second step. Delegation is the act of transferring responsibility to your new team. So the crucial point is, hiring is completely useless unless you actually let go of the work. You'd be shocked at how many freelancers hire a junior designer only to micromanage them to tears because they think, well, no one can do it as well as I can. Look, if you don't delegate, you haven't scaled anything. You've just given yourself a massive management headache.
That brings us to part 3, building reliable systems.
So you have the mindset, you have the team, you're handing off the work. But what keeps the agency from just falling into total chaos? Scaling a team without an organized foundation is like building a skyscraper on sand. When it was just you, all the standards and client preferences were locked safely inside your own head. If you just throw tasks at new hires without structure, balls get dropped, clients get angry, and chaos absolutely reigns. The answer to that chaos? Systems. Systems are the established, repeatable processes that organize and manage the agency's workflow. Think of them as the instruction manuals for your business. Systems basically take the genius out of your brain and put it on paper or into project management software so that anyone you hire can achieve the exact same high-quality result that you used to achieve alone. They are the only way to prevent chaos when managing new hires and delegating tasks. Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how systems act as the glue for everything else we've discussed. They organize the agency as a whole, they manage how you onboard and train new people, and they structure exactly how a task moves from a client request through your team and back to the client. Systems interlock with your people, ensuring your new agency functions like a well-oiled machine rather than a scrambled mess. And finally, part 4, securing recurring clients. Okay, so you have the agency model, you have the team, and your systems are running smoothly.
But how do you sustain it all? When you were a solo freelancer, a slow month just meant tightening your belt a little bit. But an agency is a different beast entirely. You now have software subscriptions, overhead, and a team relying on you. You have to feed the machine. You cannot survive on that old feast or famine cycle anymore.
The answer here is recurring clients. Predictable, recurring revenue is the safety net every expanding freelancer desperately needs. Instead of constantly hunting for those one-off projects, you must shift your sales strategy to secure retainers or ongoing contracts. Knowing exactly what money is coming in on the first of every month allows you to confidently pay your team and actually project your growth. They really are the lifeblood of a scaled agency.
Let's pull all of this together. It's amazing how these 5 elements interlock perfectly. The agency model is your mindset shift. Hiring adds capacity. Delegation frees up your time. Systems prevent chaos. And recurring clients provide stability. You literally cannot skip a single step here. Together, they form the complete formula to transform a stressed-out solo operation into a highly profitable, scaled business.
So we arrive at the ultimate question. Are you ready to stop freelancing and start scaling? You have the roadmap from day 27 right here. You know exactly what is required to break through that revenue ceiling. And remember, that ceiling is only there as long as you choose to work alone. It's time to build your agency, build your team, and build your future. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I challenge you to start implementing these steps today. We'll see you next time.